दरवाजा बंद करना।
Rajni ma'am, we can start the session now.
दरवाजा बंद करो।
Dr. Parvesh, kindly mute yourself, please.
Only 425 interested for
आप कर दो mute.
A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I'm Dr. Rajni Gautam from School of Basic and Applied Sciences, Mangalam University. I welcome you all to the fourth day of this 7 days online FTP on new reforms in higher education system with reference to NEP 2020. This FTP is organized by IQAC, Mangalam University in collaboration with Council for Teacher Education Foundation, Delhi NCR chapter. The topic for today's talk is quality research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Research and innovation are the pillars of economic growth of a country. According to the World Development Indicators published by the World Bank, India spends barely 0.69% of the GDP on research, whereas Germany, US, China, and Japan spend much higher than them, nearly 2 to 3%. India has also poorly performed in having patents to its credit. According to the World Intellectual Property Organization, that is WIPO, of the total 50,000 patent applications of India, about 70% are by non-residents. And when you compare this to China's 1.5 million applications, nearly 90% are by the residents. And in US, for 6 lakh applications, nearly half are by the residents. And I have taken this data from the official website of WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization. They give country-wise data. So it speaks a lot about India's relatively poor position in R&D. Now, what is the reason behind it? The key reasons for this are inadequate involvement of industry and the higher education sector, as well as lack of collaboration between these entities. The National Education Policy, NEP 2020, has finally realized the importance of research in a country's economic growth by building a research ecosystem called National Research Fund, NRF, comprising the government, universities, research institutes, and industry. Being a researcher and a teacher, I am very hopeful of better research outcome of India after implementation of NEP 2020. And let me tell you, on 29th July 2022, NEP completed 2 years successfully, as it was launched on 29th of July 2020. Now, to elaborate more on research and innovation, today we are having Dr. Shweta Rani. Dr. Shweta Rani is currently working as Assistant Professor Senior Grade in the Department of Geography at Dyal Singh College, University of Delhi. She holds Masters, MPhil and PhD in Geography from Department of Geography, Delhi School of Economics, University of Delhi. She has a rich and varied teaching experience of almost 12 years at University of Delhi, and her keen research interests include urbanization and development, advanced statistical methods in spatial analysis, research meteorology, geoinformatics, hydrology and water resource management, and sustainable and regional development. She is a merit rank holder securing first position at the higher secondary level and taught the stream in graduation from Patna University, receiving Shanti Lata Memorial Award in 2002 and Mother Theodosia A.C. Memorial Award in 2005. She is also the recipient of Srimati Draupadi Ishwari Prasad Bhargav Memorial Gold Medal from University of Delhi in 2008 and awarded fellowship for meritorious students in science by UGC in 2012. She grabbed the prestigious award for national level Geographers Youth Conclave for 2 consecutive years in 2019 and 2020. Recently, she has been conferred with the prestigious Nari Shakti Best Women Academician Award 2022. Dr. Rani has been immensely recognized and appreciated for her research work with more than 35 research papers to her credit in reputed journals in India and abroad, including her contributions as chapters in edited books by well-known scholars. She has presented over 50 research papers in several conferences, seminars, workshops in India and abroad, and received numerous awards for best research papers presentations both at the international and national level. She has delivered more than 30 invited talks at different institutions of higher learning in India. Dr. Rani has filed and published 6 Indian patents to her credit. She is also a member of several academic committees, geographical bodies, and editorial boards. On behalf of organizing committee, I extend a warm welcome to Dr. Shweta Rani ma'am. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rajni and organizers, especially Professor Tanya, for this wonderful and novel introduction, and a very good afternoon to the participants. I feel extremely privileged, and I'm very happy to conduct a session and to deliver a lecture in this 1-week faculty development program on new reforms in higher education with reference to NEP 2020. Organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell and School of Basic and Applied Sciences, School of Education, KR Mangalam University, in collaboration with Council for Teacher Education, Delhi NCR chapter, and to engage a session on very important and apt theme related to NEP, and that is quality research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. I've tried to make today's session literally comprehensible and interesting as far as possible. So here I go with some simple and lucid examples. Please allow me a moment to share my screen. Is my screen visible, Dr. Rajni?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay, perfect. So I have already told the topic of my presentation for today's session. Let me just move ahead. We'll begin with a short introduction. We all know that the year 2020 has been an exceptional year for countries across the globe. And if I ask you people for what, the first region that will come to your mind is the pandemic. Yes, the pandemic emerged somewhere around in March 2020, and the countrywide lockdown actually existed. So in India, apart from COVID-19, one of the important changes that took place was the development of the National Education Policy, which we all abbreviate as NEP 2020. And time by time, various committees have recommended the increasing the allocation of budget. Every year, a certain amount of budget is being allocated to the field of education, to the field of research and development, and for education to 6% of GDP. And this has led to the interest of the researchers. Yes, we researchers are at the core. We teachers are at the core. So with today's discussion, today's throwing insight on the topic, I am just targeting and I'm aiming to provide some insight to the young and innovative minds and to the participants of this FDP, which are mostly researchers and the young faculty. The National Education Policy, NEP. It is just, you can say, a pictorial representation. And this lamp is a very important, giving a kind of knowledge, a kind of wisdom, a kind of light to the people. National Education Policy 2020, it was actually approved by Union Cabinet of India on 29th July 2020. It outlines the vision of India's new education system. And this was the much needed thing that has been done long before. This new policy replaces the previous one, which was the National Policy on Education, implemented in the year 1986. And this policy aims to transform the entire education system in India by the year 2040. So we have this target. It is initiated in 2020 and we have a 20-year span period to achieve all the targets that we are having. Now, what is the mission? When any policy or program is being implemented, it is entitled or it is outlined with some basic vision. So the national education policy envisions an educational system which is rooted in Indian ethos. We cannot deny that the long cultural history of India. So we have to take that into consideration. That contributes directly to transforming India. That is Bharat. We must not forget to say that. Aryavat. Sustainably, that is an important word. We have to take the concept of sustainable development, taking the growth and prospect of the present generation and the future generation. How? Into an equitable and vibrant knowledge society. And how we can do this? By providing high quality education to almost all the population, all the residents of India, irrespective of their caste, their creed, their color, their culture, their religion. No bondage should be there. And with this, what we can achieve? We can make India a global knowledge superpower. And yes, we are going to achieve this by the year 2030. The national education policy, let us have a quick glance. I'll move very fast because you have already covered the 4 days of FDP and most of the speakers might have thrown some light on this. So I'll just move it very fast. The NEP proposes a paradigm shift. Yes, it is a shift on how education is disbursed by various institutions across the country, whether it is the school education, whether it is the higher secondary, where it is the university or the top level higher institution. Now, the present education system, what is the basic limit? It limits itself in various aspects and it is unable to encourage innovative and out of the box thinking among young minds. We totally lack in this. And as Dr. Rajni has given the introduction, the situation of India, when we compare it with the China, the situation is really very, very grim. So hence, seeing this present context, this present scenario, national education policy was a much needed move for the transformation of the entire education ecosystem. We are not using the word system. Rather, we are using the word ecosystem. Why? Because it's a kind of system where we have a mutual relationship between the biotic resources and the abiotic resources. Biotic resources are the living organisms like the humans, the plants and the animals. And the abiotic are the non-living like the mountains, the rivers. And both of them live in close harmony to each other. Both of them complement each other. So similar thing happens. We as an individual are here. We as an intellectuals are here to grasp the knowledge, to gain the knowledge. But yes, there should be some source, there should be some material that should be provided to us. So we are intending a complete transformation of the entire education ecosystem within India. So it seeks to do what? It seeks to establish an educational landscape. As a geographer, I am going to stress on the concept of landscape because everything happens on the land surface. Educational landscape that caters to the overall development of students in order to create industry. We have to make students ready and led to the creation of an industry with the ready workforce. And these workforce are going to do what? They are going to meet the global industry. You know, the Indian minds are very, very talented. Let me take this opportunity to tell you, yes, we Indians are very talented. Our minds are very sharp. And we usually, when we move out of India, we are at once absorbed in very good industries abroad. So instead of moving out, let us be stationed within our own country and let us utilize this brain power, this research-oriented mind for the development of our nation. And this mind, when it is actually research-oriented, it meets the global industry requirements. And it also emphasizes on entrepreneurship and the startup ecosystem. That is the main target. Now, if we say what are the main regulatory agencies, according to NEP 2020, it is the National Higher Education Regulatory Council, which is NHERC for regulation, number one. Number two, we have the General Education Council, GEC, for standard setting. Yes, a particular standard has to be set and all the schools, colleges, universities have to abide by it. They have to fulfill this basic standard. We have the Higher Education Grant Council for funding, like we have UGC, we have ICSSR. They see the quality of their work. Suppose if I want to move ahead with research, what do I do? First of all, I send my abstract. This send the quality of the abstract and what I'm trying to do, whether it is going to prove beneficial for the economy of India or not. And accordingly, they provide us the required grant. And number 4 is the National Accreditation Council, NAC, which we also call NAT. And these days, in our university, we are actually in a getting geared up for the visit of the NAC. So this is the thing. They provide us a grading. And on the basis of grading, they provide you the grants and the number of people who are doing MPhil and PhD, whether it is recognized or not. So it's very important. Now, this is a kind of sectoral diagram, which is depicting all the 4 important sectors. Like if we have GEC, they provide the particular standards. If we have NHERC, they give you the specific regulations and guidelines. HEGC, they provide you the fund, and NAC, they give you the ultimate accreditation. This is the word cloud depicting NEP 2020. What are the important words that is actually highlighting? That is actually giving you a snapshot. Suppose if I get to know about quality research, the first thing that will come to my mind is NEP 2020. If I get to know innovation, innovation is something which was not within the pages or the diary of the Indian system before, but soon after 2020, it will strike. Yes, this is NEP. So this is a kind of word cloud, a constellation, or you can say a congregation of words that is actually defining this important policy system. I think this is a mind map, a kind of tree diagram that it is depicting the stages of national education policy, that how it's going to be operational. This is the involvement, then we have the engagement and contribution. All these 3 for what? At the level of community. As far as development is concerned, we need to have development student. At the same time, there should be quality teachers who's going to give the knowledge, the required knowledge to the student. We have a system should be there, because this system acts as an interface between the teacher and the student. They should be having a specific kind of environment. And institution, within institution, we have the required system, and within the system, on one hand, we have the teacher, on the other hand, we have the student, and there is the imparting of knowledge, and it will lead to the development. So finally, development at the level of student, teacher, and at the level of community is something which is going to define NEP 2020. Here we have the subject, skills, and high quality. For what? Assessment. We have to do. That is very important. Now, high quality, then language, learning, multidisciplinary, and online courses in context of education. Prior to the commencement of COVID-19, we were hardly aware of the online system. We were aware of distance education, but we had this notion in our mind that only people who are into some work culture, who do not have the required time to do a full-time course, only they go for distance education or school of open learning. But this notion has been just given a pause once we moved into the phase of COVID, whereby the entire economy got paralyzed, but education system was not given a stop. We had this process continued. Even we at the college level, we were also providing online education to the student, though it was difficult for both the students and us, because we were not that much familiar with all the softwares, but now we have done mastery over that. So now no problem. So education should be redefined in context of high quality. It should be high quality. Language should not be a barrier. And learning, yes, it lies at the core of the educational system. We have multidisciplinary. We cannot limit knowledge to a one particular discipline. It should be multidisciplinary. Even in our university, we do not specify people. Like if people have opted for geography honors, they do not only study the papers related with geography. No, we provide them multidisciplinary. They are also part of economics department. They are also read few papers from political science, English, Sanskrit. They can even opt papers from the science background, because it is actually going to carve out their mind and they can think out of the box. And this entire fabrication actually gives rise and gives shape to what we call National Education Policy 2020. So now, out of all these things, the 3 things that I'm going to just extract from NEP is first, creativity. That is defining the quality research, because quality research is nothing. It's a kind of your way of thinking, how creative you are at your mind to think something different. Second is innovation. And the third is entrepreneurship. And they are the prime focus for what? for holistic education. And this is the main target, we can say, new national education policy. Now, why there is a need for quality research? The first thing that should come to your mind, and that should definitely come to my mind as well, that why has the government of India, while framing the basic guidelines, the basic principles for NEP, they have given a focus on quality education. There must be some problem at the background related with quality education, which has to be blended with innovation, and ultimately both of them together is going to give rise to the entrepreneurship, because the ultimate target is what? Job seeking, to increase the employment rate in India. So the NEP Act approved by Union Cabinet, on one hand, it promises to make sweeping reforms in education and research. That is their target. Whereas on the other hand, it also aims to create new possibilities. For what? For lifelong learning. That means learning should not be stopped at a specific age, beside making it industry oriented. Because these people, when they are moving out of the education system, they should be very rationally and very meaningfully should be absorbed in the industry, with emphasis on entrepreneurship. So here comes the concept of entrepreneurship. Now, creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship remain at the heart of the policy. Like, I'm very delighted and very happy that I'm actually delivering a session which is at the heart of the NEP. And this should be literally focused. And we teachers, you and me, have to work together to fulfill this particular dream, this particular motive of the national education policy. The Ministry of Human Resource Development, which is HRD, now the Ministry of Education, has recognized that India lags when it comes to research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. So here is the problem. Hence, they felt the need. New education policy may let us try to develop, let us try to build this at the basic and at the heart concept. Quality research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. This lack of creative and critical thinking, it mainly stems from the fact that current educational framework does not award such thinking. Yes, we must admit that is why there was a need. कि अभी जो present situation है education system in India, since we all belong to this field, this education system, we should not feel ashamed to accept there is problem. Dr. Rajni has also said India के पास बहुत कम patent है. जब हम Canada या China से compare करेंगे, we Indian lie at the, you can say, just bottom. So that is why, thinking in this respect, and while reading the entire national education policy, I also start thinking कि हम Indians किसी चीज में कम नहीं है. We have one of the great minds in the world, one of the innovative minds. तो हम क्यों नहीं patent कर सकते? And thinking in that respect, I have filed one by one 6 Indian patents. And there are many patents, many things related with environment, with artificial intelligence, which is a blend of modern technology. We can do that. And even people from our university, they have also started. और ये drastic thinking हमारे अंदर कैसे आई? It's all because of the inculcation of this national education policy, जिसका core है your quality research. So creativity leads to innovation. We must accept this. Creative mind are the one that creates innovation. कुछ नया वो innovate करते हैं. And innovation eventually results in the generation of intellectual property, and further can be taken up to entrepreneurship and startups. So what is research? बहुत छोटा सा question हमारे दिमाग में आता है. Quality research पे बाद में जाएंगे. पहले तो research क्या होता है? You all are researcher, teachers हैं आप सबने research किया होगा अपनी अपनी capacity में. Be it different backgrounds, different disciplines, because you know, discipline is not a boundary. So research is a creative and systematic work that is undertaken to increase the stock of knowledge, including knowledge of humans, knowledge of culture, and the knowledge of society. So the two core important words that is underlining and defining research is creative and systematic. We must be creative to think something different. And this pool of knowledge, which is coming out from our mind, which we call that they are very creative. It should not just move haphazardly. There should be a system. It should move one by one. Suppose, for example, if you are staying in a particular area, and in that area, suppose if I belong from the state of Bihar, and since my childhood, I have seen the problem of flood, baad. I have literally seen, and I have seen how the small huts of the people in my native villages, how the cattle and how the vegetation, they are just swept away by the flood water. So the first thing when I was moving into research that came to me is I must do something for my state, and I must do a research related with the recurring nature of flood coming in Bihar. So I cannot just move my research like that. I have to first of all identify the nature of problem and then the study area where it is most important. Now, having carved out these two things, what do I do? Then I'll try to read a number of literatures on that. Why? Because it will give me a fair idea that how people have actually approached this particular issue related to that space. And then I'll try to carve out the gap. What are the gaps? अगर कोई gap है, तभी तो मेरे research का meaning होगा. If there are no gaps and if people have done wonders, then problem तो होना ही नहीं चाहिए. Solutions आते हैं ना research से. Then literature review and literature gap. So what I'm trying to say that this research should move in a systematic manner. It should be in a sequential manner, and it should move one over the another till finally we come to some certain conclusion and we propose certain innovative, see again I'm using the word certain innovative and certain sustainable solutions to the society so that इस problem को कम किया जाए. क्योंकि हमारे research main aim है हम जिस problem को target कर रहे हैं वो problem की intensity कम हो. Then lies the fruitfulness of our research. So this use of this stock of knowledge to devise or to innovate new applications. So you see, innovation is a word that lies within the purview of research. Research is like a big umbrella, and within that we have that innovation taking or holding the stick of that umbrella and standing. So both of them are mutual. So research, that means searching again. And knowledge is already existing, but there are some gaps, there are some loopholes which we want to search again. Hence, read and search. It is derived from the Middle French word researcher, which means to go about seeking and to find out something new and innovative. Now, the research design, because you know this research design is something related with quality research design also. It refers to the overall strategy that we can choose to integrate the different components of the study and how it should move. It should move in a coherent manner. That means it should be interrelated and in a logical fashion. Logic is must. You cannot move ahead with any research like as it is. आज मन किया हमने इस topic पर research कर लिया. No, you have to provide a logic. You have to provide a sound base for your research. To ensuring, and all these are going to do what? It's going to ensure that the research problem is effectively addressed. सबसे पहले तो हम problem को identify करते हैं और उस problem के solution तक हम कैसे पहुंचे इसके बीच में it should be in a coherent manner, it should be in a logical manner. So in other words, we can say research means it provides you an idea of blueprint for data collection. You need to collect data, whether it is primary data, whether it is secondary data. It depends upon the your hypothesis, your aims and objectives. Also provides the measurement, that what are the measurement techniques that you are going to apply once the data has been collected. And finally, once the data is collected, then how you are going to analyze. Everything is important. So once the research is planned, you have planned in your mind, you have decided how you're going to move ahead, the research design is formulated, and if it begin to, we also after that begin to apply the various combination of statistical tools and techniques, modern technologies to realize the objective of the research. Now, one important aspect that I thought I would be focusing on today's session, that many of you, like I have seen some of my MPhil and research scholars also, वो बहुत डरते हैं maths या statistics, and this forms a very important tool when you are doing a quality research. So statistics is nothing, it's all about collection, tabulation, interpretation, analysis, and finally, application of the data, which are nothing, they are just the numerical entity. What are numbers? Numbers speaks for themselves and play a very vital role within the domain of the research. Suppose if I'm just going to say that the level of urbanization in India is very, very high. I'm just telling very, very high. But I'm not giving you any data. But the moment I tell you that the level of urbanization in India was almost 32% of the total population in India. So this particular number, this particular data provided you a fair idea that out of 100, 32% is the urban population and left over 68% is the rural population. So it makes your understanding clear. पूरा picture आपके mind में clear हो जाता है. So let's not be scared of numbers. Let's appreciate these numbers and let's apply these numbers to make our research very, very quality, some quality research. So in fact, the role of statistics in research is to function as a tool. It acts as a tool. It acts as a medium for what? In designing meaningful and quality research, analyzing its data and drawing finally, what do we draw? Like the one I have said, 32% is level of urbanization. So on basis of data, I have drawn a conclusion that this is the level of urbanization and the leftover 68% is the rural population in India. That is still, India is an agrarian economy. Though we are moving every year. In 2001 census, according to 2001, 28% was the figure for all India level of urbanization. Within a span of 1 decade from 28, it increased to 31.16. So yes, there was an increment of 3.16. So it's showing a continuous increasing trend. If you will make a trend analysis, you will find an increasing trend. Okay, quality research and higher education. Now here we are coming to this. What is a quality research? After understanding research क्या होता है, quality research is what? किसी research को हम कैसे कहते हैं, ये वाला quality research है and this is just ऐसे ही वाला किया. No, we should not take research for granted because India बहुत पीछे है and it's only because कि हमारा current educational system is not focusing on quality education. Research तो सब लोग करते हैं, but आपके research में कितना research ऐसा है जो quality है? कभी आपने Have you ever tried finding out कि हम जो research करते हैं और उससे जो हम publications निकालते हैं, कितने Indians ऐसे हैं जिनका publications Scopus, SCI, Web of Science या high impact factor journals में publish होता है? बहुत कम. And if you see the Western world countries, no, since the quality of research of their country is so very high, उसका standard इतना high होता है that automatically it gets accepted. But first time it is not accepted, they'll ask for certain modifications. But for we Indians, it's difficult. It's not because we lack creative minds. It's not because we do not have quality. It's not our fault. We are there to give our best. But our education system is not providing that much fund to the quality education. Funding is a major problem. And seeing this inherent problem, NEP has actually focused on quality research. So quality research refers to what is this? It is the scientific process encompassing all aspects of study design. किसी भी study को जब हम करते हैं, we have to make a design for that. And when it is done in a scientific manner, scientific means you have to provide logic for that. It's not that you're just conducting and you are giving the result. No, your result should be applied to the society to make some changes. So changes होगा तब तो आपके resource में, you know, when we provide our research paper to some foreign journals, the first thing that they demand, what is the outcome of your research and how it is going to benefit the society. Similar thing is being asked, अगर आप किसी research proposal को UGC या ICSSR में as a grant, major research project के लिए भेजते हैं, as part of your abstract, they are going to focus on two things. What is your probable outcome and how it is going to benefit the society, the culture, and the man. This is their important aspect. So in particular, quality research pertains to the judgment regarding the match between the methods and questions. What are the methods that you are adopting? What are the research questions that you are posing? आपने किस question को pose किया है? वो एक solution derive करने के लिए. Selection of subjects. Your selection of subject is a must. Measurement of outcomes. आपका जो outcomes आ रहा है, उसको आपने कैसे measure किया? Whether it is arbitrary, where it is real, where are some errors. Everything has to be decided at that time. And protection against systematic bias, non-systematic bias, and inferential error. Whenever, I think all of you will agree with me, whenever we conduct the research, there are some inherent biasness within us. जो बहुत बार we are known कि we are doing some bias. Many a times it is unknown bias that has done by us. तो इस biasness को remove करने के लिए we must try some testing methods. हम hypothesis testing, एक hypothesis develop कर ले और उसको test करके देख ले. अगर उस टेस्ट में हमारा जो रिजल्ट आ रहा है, जो फ्यूचर में आएगा एक सैंपल के ऊपर, अगर इट इज गिविंग द करेक्ट रिजल्ट, देन वी आर फेयर इनफ. बिकॉज व्हाट इज रिसर्च? रिसर्च में हमारा टाइम लगता है, मनी लगता है, and then our energy, our mind. So don't you think that before research, we must try and test it at the preliminary phase to remove any sort of biasness if it's there. और कोई अगर error ऐसा है, inferential error, known है, unknown है, बहुत बार human errors भी हो जाते हैं, and there is a possibility, there is an acceptance zone of 1% of human error. 99% तक it should be correct. 100% we are not asking. But there is, because there is always a scope and chance for 1% error. So I'm not asking you people quality research karo 100%. Till 99% it's acceptable. 1% we are humans, we are bound to make errors. It also poses a significant, important question that can be investigated empirically and that contributes to the knowledge base. This is very important. It applies methods that best addresses the research question of interest. Let me move fast now. Quality universities. I'm not able to see the, yes, I'll just remove this. Quality education in colleges and a new vision for India's higher education system. Higher education, we all know it plays an extremely important role in promoting humans as well as societal well-being. It's there, it's very important. And the Constitution of India envisioned it as a democratic, just, socially conscious, cultured, and a humane nation, upholding liberty, equality, fraternity, and justice for all. We all have the right to education. There is no denial of that. And quality research largely and significantly contribute towards sustainable livelihood and economic development of any nation. The moment we are moving, we are stepping into a quality research, automatically it will gear up, it will shoot up the level of economic development in India. So, you know, I can say that there is a very strong positive correlation between quality research and the level of economic development in India. And as we have moved towards becoming a knowledge economy and society, more and more young Indians are likely to aspire for higher education. This is the transitional phase that we are actually seeing in our university. जो graduation से बच्चे pass out होके निकलते हैं, when they are going to master's level, they are actually oriented towards this kind of research activity. Next, what is the aim of quality education या फिर quality research? उसका main target क्या होता है? To develop good, thoughtful, well-rounded, and creative individuals. Because it actually carves you to develop a character, ethical and constitutional values, intellectual curiosity. You must have that mind within yourself. You must be curious to know intellectually things, that why this is happening, why this is not happening, why research has not been done. It's not being done, and if it's something that is related to me, I must initiate it. You should have a scientific temper, creativity that lies at the base, and spirit of service, and most important, the 21st century capabilities across a range of disciplines, including sciences, social sciences, arts, humanities, languages. Because, you know, discipline is not at all it should not pose an obstacle कि आप किस field से belong कर रहे हैं. To whatever field you are belonging, you should have the above characteristics. You must be curious, you must have a scientific temper, you must have that ethical value, always curious to know something new, as well as you must have some technical education and in some vocational subjects. That is why at the undergrads level, now under the NEP, there has been a transformational change in the what you can say, the syllabus, the pedagogy that we are teaching at the university. Right now, we do not only ask students to study their core subject, we also have a paper. You will be very stunned to know that in the second year graduation student, we have a paper which is known as research methods. आप ये सोचे, एक ग्रेजुएशन के बच्चे को सेकेंड ईयर में रिसर्च मेथड करके एक पेपर यूनिवर्सिटी ने इंट्रोड्यूस कराया है, जिसमें उनको हम बेसिक चीजें सिखाते हैं. रिसर्च क्या होता है, इसका एडवांटेज क्या होता है, एंड देन वी आस्क द स्टूडेंट, यू चूज अ प्रॉब्लम. If you belong to, because the students coming to us are from different parts of India, we give them the leverage, the liberty to whichever state you belong, वहाँ पे जो भी problems related with geography you are encountering, take that problem, take that study area, try to research into that and come up with some innovative solutions. And I'm really very, very happy to see the kind of performance that they are showing at such a young stage. And we are, based on this, we are very hopeful. ये बच्चे जब मास्टर्स करते हैं, ये बच्चे जब पीजी में जाते हैं या फिर हायर लेवल पे जाते हैं, they will just do wonders in research and they will produce quality research. So quality research must enable personal accomplishment. Yes, we need to get a personal accomplishment and enlightened. Definitely we are enlightened. बहुत सारी चीजें हमें सीखने को मिलती है. Suppose if we are doing a research paper we have sent to a high reputed journal. वहां से उनका आया reply कि the work is very, very good, but it requires major corrections. So it's a kind of learning experience for us. What is the requirement? What is the standard at the international level? So it's there. It gives us a sort of enlightenment. It is also constructive public engagement. We are getting engaged on a constructive platform and productive contribution to the society. Yes, this is the ultimate aim. Quality research का ultimate aim ही है कि it should contribute positively to the society. Now, next, for the purpose of developing holistic individuals, it is essential that an identified set of skills and values will be incorporated at each stage of learning, from preschool to higher level, and finally it will lead to the quality research. ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर बच्चों को आपने pre-primary level या primary या secondary या higher secondary level पे your education system is just normal type and then you are expecting those students to produce quality research. It will be difficult. Quality research will come at a later stage, but उसका जो basic seed है, it should be developed at the very primary stage only through the school education. Now, this acts as a catalyzing thing because it speeds up the process of economic development. So knowledge creation and research are critical in growing and sustaining a large and vibrant economy. It uplifts the society and it continuously inspires a nation to achieve even greater heights. अभी हमारे पास बहुत समय है. We will take a long time because we are at a very bottom level, but we are optimistic. Indians are ready to transform, to get transformed in this new educational system. So indeed, some of the most prosperous ancient civilizations such as India, Mesopotamia, Egypt, and Greece, जो ancient periods में थे, to the modern era में जो developed nations in terms of educational systems such as United States, we have Germany, Israel also, you will be stunned to know, South Korea, Japan, China, they have large number of patents to their credit. Were and are strong knowledge societies that attained intellectual and material wealth in large part. तो हम अभी भी उस वाले stage में ही हैं, but ये national education policy will provide us the required impetus. It will act as a catalyst for us to just shoot up, and we will do wonders. This is achieved through celebrated and fundamental contributions to new knowledge in the realm of science, as well as arts, language, culture, to humanities, any field to you belong. Now, ecosystem of research, as I have already told in the introductory slide, a robust ecosystem of research is perhaps more important than ever with the rapid changes occurring in the world today. The world is getting transformed, but हमारे इंडिया में ये तेजी पे है. तो हमारा समय, we are also going to transform. And the present world is the realm of many complex and interrelated phenomena. आज कभी भी आप कोई भी seminar सुनते हैं, you will see the theme is climate change. The theme is sustainable development, something related with population, how to manage them, biotechnology, digitalization, या फिर digital space. So all these are what? They are some of the important ingredients. They are some of the important interrelated phenomenon that forms the crux of the quality research. And latest, we have heard the concept of blockchain technology. We have artificial intelligence. We have the creation of neons. We have robots, we have drones. All these are what? All these are nothing. They are the modern, latest technology that is actually going to aid the quality research. आप research कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जब तक इस research में कुछ innovative technology, new scientific inventions नहीं आएगा, it will not get a meaning. So all these are going to provide you the required kind of skills, the required kind of tools in order to have a quality research in which context is related to the growing problems that we are facing currently in the world. Most important है climate change and sustainable development, because you know the population of the world is increasing by leaps and bounds. जितने भी resources हैं उनको humans use कर रहे हैं without giving it a thought. If they are using it irrationally, then उसका जो existing resource है, उसका जो रिजर्व है वो खत्म हो जाएगा, तो फ्यूचर जनरेशंस तो कभी देख ही नहीं पाएंगे. Our forefathers, they have never imagined कि पानी को कभी we can sell also. It will be in bottle. We have seen when you will go to Singapore, no? I have been to Singapore once, and there, you know, Singapore is a very small It's a country also, it's a city also. And why it is known? Because it has 100% level of urbanization. It's a small country, very close at the tip of Malaysia. Malaysia के नीचे छोटा सा country है, very well planned, सब कुछ बहुत अच्छा है. It is an island country. Why? Because it is surrounded from water from all the sides. So water is everywhere, but they do not have the clean water to drink. Here you get 1 liter of bottle. कितने में आता है? 25 rupees, 15 rupees, 25. अलग-अलग brands के अलग होते हैं. Distillery का अलग, Kinley का अलग, and some bottles even at the airports you get for 50 rupees or 100 rupees. There, the minimum price of a bottle for a half a liter is somewhere around 300 to 350. And that is something, when you will move out of India, then you will realize the importance of that important prime resource, which is water. India में तुम्हें फर्क नहीं पड़ता, because we do not have a dearth of water. पानी की कोई कमी ही नहीं है हमारे यहाँ. We have 14 major perennial rivers, just the water is throughout, and we are reeling under the problem of flood. हमारे पास तो excess of water. हमें इस problem का अभी अंदाजा नहीं है. Now it's high time for we Indians to start thinking rationally, to act logically, and how to make generation aware about this. General public को हम कैसे इसके बारे में realize कराएं? It is through the quality research. That is the responsibility of you people, and that is the responsibility of me. We as an academician, let us exhort today कि हमारा education system या फिर हम जो research करेंगे वो इतना quality होना चाहिए, वो real situation को depict करे. And when it is actually going online, when people are actually reading it, they must get connected to it. उनको लगे कि this is their problem, and they must have that logical thinking in their mind that let us stop. नहीं करना है हमें. Then we, अगर लोग, if people start getting some like insights from your research that you have done, really you have given your time, you have given your energy, and based on that, अगर लोग उसको minimize कर दे, use को, उसके irrational practice को stop कर दे, then ultimately it's going to थोड़ा सा उस problem को solve करेगा. And if that problem is solved, the society is going to benefit. So your research is actually proving beneficial for the society, and such type of research is something which is said to be quality research. There should be significant expansion of research capabilities. बिल्कुल quality research करने के लिए we also need required infrastructure, and now the government is bound to provide. उसने national education policy में अच्छा खासा amount भी allocate किया है, and now they are going to focus on it. India is to truly achieve the potential of its vast talent pool to become a leading knowledge society. Definitely we will do that. So today the criticality of research is more than ever. आज का जो scenario है, why? Because I don't know if you people are aware or not, अभी तक तो India was the second most populous country, and this is 2022 running. 2021 का census अभी तक fully furnish नहीं हो पाया है, क्योंकि 2021 census के लिए we start the data collection process in 2020 itself, but 20 was the phase of extreme COVID scenario. It was very difficult for the government officials to collect the data. So it's in the process of being released, and it is expected that by 2022, we Indians are going to surpass China. Not in terms of patent, not in terms of quality research, not in terms of anything that we can boast of, but yes, in context of the population. Or the larger the population, the more we are going to utilize the available resources, and there would be a dearth of these resources. And people should be made aware about this. So here is the situation, that 2020, 21, and it's high time, 2022, the criticality of research is more than ever before for the economic, intellectual, societal, environmental, and technological health and progress of a nation. And we Indians are also a part. हमारे लिए भी ये सारी चीजें बहुत जरूरी है. Quality research and innovation. Now let me try to relate quality. We have done research, we have done quality research. Now how quality research and innovation are interconnected. This is nothing, just a kind of reflection. Board पे हम डालते हैं. Usually we take the help of chalk and duster. We take whiteboard and marker and all. So this is what? This is nothing. This is just showing a bulb जिसमें ऐसे कुछ बत्ती जली and कुछ नए ideas आए. This is something. बहुत बार होता है ना हमारे दिमाग में questions आते हैं. It happens when I teach in the class, no? And when students are sitting, when I'm doing certain concepts, when I ask them that, have you understood? Some of the students, if they have understood, they'll say yes, ma'am. There are few shy students in the class. उनको लगेगा अगर हम बोलेंगे कि मैम समझ में नहीं आया, तो मैम को लगेगा बहुत डम बच्चा है, इसको समझ में नहीं आया. They'll also say yes, ma'am. But you know, after having an experience of 12 to 13 years of teaching, the moment they'll say yes, ma'am, I'll automatically ask them a question. And then they'll be just dumb. I'll say, if you have not understood, why you have not asked? Because I could see that abstract question mark in their mind. That is there in the mind of every individual. We must remove that thing. वो hesitation हमें हटाना पड़ेगा. और ये तभी होगा जब very basic level पे, when we are trying to get everything, every knowledge that is being imparted to us. बहुत जरूरी है ये हमारे लिए. Time factor is very important. We cannot just go कि research कर रहे हैं बस करते रहो. Even the UGC gives us a time framework of 4 years के अंदर आपको PhD करना है. For MPhil it is 2 years. More than 2 years you cannot do that. So this clock is indicating the time. New idea coming where? Coming on the cloud, somewhere up above your head. So it's there. Now, at the same time, we also have this. See, this is a kind of nothing, a raw graph. This is y-axis, this is x-axis. These are few bars. और उस bars के ऊपर हमने ये increasing arrow दिखाया. Because our ultimate target is what? Research should lead to development of stagnation. Then that would be a contribution from our part to our nation. Now, quality research and innovation. Quality research must form the basis of knowledge creation and innate innovation. Why do I say innate? Innate is something which is new, which is inborn, which is not existent somewhere else. कुछ नया है, आपका अपना है. Because when you are innovating something, you will say, like when bulb was innovated, when the Wright brothers, they have innovated the flying machine, या फिर aeroplane को किया, उसके पहले कभी exist नहीं करता. So the credit goes to them. Let's try to have something new. And yes, I must tell you that when students are given this opportunity, they come up with beautiful ideas. Like once I have given an assignment to the students कि Delhi में population बहुत बढ़ रहा है, बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ रहा है. Level of pollution is so high, the air quality index is going down, its critical level से भी cross कर चुका है. So what are the sustainable solutions you can propose जिससे हम energy consumption को कम कर सकें? You would be just stunned to know. एक बच्चे ने मुझे reply किया कि मैम हम solar panels जो street lights पे या जहाँ पे bus stop होता है उसके shade पे लगाते हैं, वो तो लोग उठा के ले जाते हैं क्योंकि that is within their reach. Why can't we do it on the metro roof? The metro is flying day and night. जब तक sun है तब तक तो वो conduct करेगा ना. मैंने बोला good idea. लेकिन ये solar panel हम डाल देंगे, metro का roof तो curved होता है. बोलेगा दैट मैम यू विल थिंक कि वो कर्व को कैसे हम फ्लैट करके अंदर से सारा एसी का सिस्टम डाल दें और वो पैनल्स को उस पे लगा दें, फिर एनर्जी कहाँ से कंडक्ट होगा? बोले उस एनर्जी से मेट्रो चलेगा. आई सेड यस, फिर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी की हमें अलग से जरूरत नहीं पड़ने वाली है. वी आर कंडक्टिंग एंड द एक्सेस दैट वी विल हैव, वी विल जस्ट स्टोर इट. सो ऐसे बहुत सारे आइडियाज बच्चों ने दिए. देन आई कुड रियलाइज कि दीज स्टूडेंट्स हैव रियली सम वेरी गुड इनोवेटिव आइडियाज, बस उनको वो मौका नहीं मिलता है. सिमिलर थिंग, हमारे पास भी वो इनोवेटिव आइडियाज हैं, हम क्वालिटी रिसर्च कर सकते हैं और हम चाइना, यूएसए, इटली सबको पीछे छोड़ सकते हैं. हमें वो एवेन्यू तो दो आप, हमें वो रिक्वायर्ड अमाउंट तो दो. You know, when I have applied for one like project with ICSSR, it was based on agricultural development in the smallest district of UP, सिद्धार्थ नगर. बहुत छोटा सा डिस्ट्रिक्ट है और वहां पे जो किसान है ना उनका सिचुएशन बहुत बुरा है, हैंड टू माउथ एग्जिस्टेंस है. सिंस इट इज क्लोज टू माय स्टेट, बिहार के नजदीक है, एंड वन ऑफ माय फैमिली मेंबर्स स्टेज देयर. तो उन्होंने बोला बहुत प्रॉब्लम है, तो आई थॉट कि उस एरिया के ऊपर कोई रिसर्च करूं और आईसीएसएसआर को प्रोजेक्ट दूं. आई हैड अप्लाइड फॉर अ ग्रांट ऑफ 15 लाख और 15 lakh was actually required to conduct that project. But finally, after seeing everything, ICSSR gave me 8,50,000. तो उसने उसी लेवल पे वहां पे कट कर दिया. They also have that dearth of resources, doesn't matter. But हमने वो 8,50,000 के बजाय उसको 4 lakh में कंप्लीट कर लिया और रेस्ट अमाउंट वी हैव रिटर्न. Let's see, हमें नई जरूरत है, हमने अपना सारा अचीवमेंट उसी के अंदर कर लिया. So now it's high time you must provide the required avenue, the required platform, the required technology, because people would be needing laptops, they would be needing a printer, they would be needing the required software. ये तो हो गया arts and humanities background के लिए. If the research is from a scientific background, physics, chemistry, biology, then they will need a lab for testing. They will need proper some chemicals. बहुत सारी चीजें हैं they would be requiring. So let's not hinder, let's not obstruct these researchers from creating quality research just by not providing them the required tools that they need. So yes, this is the thing. इसके ऊपर भी थोड़ा सा अब नेटनेस पे फोकस करते हैं. What is innovation? बहुत simple statement में मैंने सोचा आपको innovation भी समझा दूं. Innovation क्या होता है? Innovation refers to any new idea. It could be an idea. Suddenly I'm sitting, click, it clicked in my mind. I can do this. This happens with most of the time when I go to sleep. और मुझे पता है कि मैं कोई नए पेपर पे रिसर्च कर रही हूँ, उस समय नहीं आएगा माइंड में आइडिया. When you are going, when you are lying on the bed and everything is crystal clear, बिल्कुल शांत है ना, something will फटाफट come to your mind. So what do? I straight away get up from the bed and I write it down somewhere. कि सुबह हो सकता है ये आइडिया निकल जाए मेरे माइंड से. It happens with me. So that is why I'm sharing with you. So it refers to any new idea. कोई भी आइडिया हो सकता है. Any new phenomenon हो सकता है. Or practice, it could be even a practice. You are doing it since long time and suddenly something new practice is come up, evolving in any field of study. जरूरी नहीं है कि ये social science में हो, ये like science में हो, या फिर ये arts में हो, humanities, any field, anything, any new idea coming to your mind related to your study is what? Innovation. So every innovation has a particular point of origin. कहीं से वो origin करता है, which is the point of origin of innovation. और वहां से वो spread करता है different direction. Now, once the innovation is evolved, it needs to spread. Spread जब तक नहीं करेंगे लोगों तक कैसे पहुंचेगा? It needs to spread or pass on from one person to other person and from one country to another country. अभी हमने अगर इंडिया में patents किया, अभी वो Indian patents यहीं पे हैं. Once it gets internationalized, people will get to know about it. Okay. Now, this process of spread of innovation of any new technology, ideas over geographic space, ये जो innovation होता है एक spatial identity या एक spatial location पे ही होता है. And this process is known as diffusion. Diffusion is origin at a point and getting it spread to in all directions. So this is diffusing. Like you will see, you will burn जब आप घर में पूजा करते हैं and then you have that अगरबत्ती. I have this habit of explaining things with local examples so that I get connected with my audience. So what does it do? उसका जो fragrance होता है वो तो आप smell करते हैं, but you could see वो क्या हो रहा है, वो air में diffuse हो रहा है. You have done in one room and the smell you are getting in the other room. So that is the diffusion of the molecules within the air. So the smell gets just passed on. So despite the critical importance of research, the research and innovation investment in India is at the current time only 0.69% of the GDP. Abhi, this is the bleak scenario as compared to 2.8% in United States of America, 4.3% in Israel, and 4.2% in South Korea. अब South Korea या Israel को ले लीजिए, ये बहुत छोटे nation है, बहुत छोटे. South Korea is such a small nation. It is in the East Pacific Ocean, not to Japan. And Israel बहुत छोटा nation है India के comparison में, क्योंकि we are the second largest country in the world, but population हमारे पास world का 17% है. 2% land area है world का हमारे पास, लेकिन we hold 17% of the world's population. इतना pressure है हमारे पास. तो जब man power इतना ज्यादा है, वहां पे कम man power में they are creating wonders. तो हमारे पास जब इतना strong man power है, which is the human resource, और वो सबसे important resource माना जाता है, तो उसको क्यों नहीं use कर सकते? Let us try to use that, no? Because हमारा जो working population है, that is very high. Dependents हमारे पास जो 60 plus age वाले हैं, that is just 8% of the total population. 14 years से कम के जो बच्चे हैं, which are the dependents, उनकी population हमारे पास almost 27% है. But the major portion of the population of India is the working population between the age group of 15 years and 59. और ये 50 to 59 में ही वो वाला age group आता है, which is in the phase of research. So let us try to develop them. This is the stage of diffusion. This I have taken from one of the very famous model in geography that we teach to our students. This is the Hagerstand model. And they also talk about the diffusion of any new technology, any innovation. I thought since आज के session में हम पूरा innovation discuss करेंगे, so let me try to explain this through different stages. So first we have the primary stage. जैसे I'm going to the bed and suddenly something came to my mind. So that is the primary stage. अभी वो बिल्कुल मेरे पास है, मैंने उसको अभी spread नहीं किया. It is the initial stage when a process is introduced and there are very few adopters for the process. मैंने अभी डिस्कस किया अपने peer group से. So very few friend of mine are knowing and they are telling, yes, this is a very good idea. We can do this in our research. Now, diffusion stage, it generally lasts from 5 to 10 years. Now, this period is not static. ये एक general assumption है जो उनके model में था. In the present scenario, 5 to 10 years is a long gap. It will take just 6 months, 1 year to 2 years time to get diffused. Diffusion is what? एक छोटा सा example से आपको समझाऊंगी. Suppose when the vaccination of COVID came, ठीक है? It targeted the entire population of India. But India का population base इतना strong है कि government के लिए ये बहुत मुश्किल हो गया. So what the government thought? उसने बोला सबसे पहले let's try to categorize the population. जो भी senior citizens हैं या फिर those are the people जिनको कुछ ऐसा ailments है like high BP है, sugar है, पहले हम उनको target करें. Okay, these are most vulnerable section. Second phase में उन्होंने 40 and above, 45 and above, if I'm correct, 45 and above age group के लोग हैं, 45 to 60 उनको target किया. Then they have targeted 18 and above, फिर 12 to 18 आया, अभी 12 से नीचे it is in the अभी भी उसका trial चल रहा है. So what I'm trying to say, this is diffusion. That means that vaccine is diffusing over the entire geographical landscape of India. जब सब लोगों का वैक्सीनेशन हो जाएगा एक्सेप्ट 12 के नीचे वाले बच्चे जिनका ट्रायल चल रहा है, then we can say this is the final, we have achieved it. So diffusion stage is that when we have many adopters, that means वो new technology को बहुत सारे लोगों ने adopt कर लिया, उस new innovation को लोगों ने adopt कर लिया. Then we have the condensation stage. Number of adopters further increases knowing the advantages of the innovation. Condensation, आपको लोगों को बताना भी पड़ेगा कि this is the advantage of this innovation. Diffusion stage is different. वहाँ पे you have to convince people. You have to let them know that these are the advantages. But once it has diffused over the space, सब लोगों को पता चल गया कि okay, this is the advantage, this is the advantage, this is the advantage. Like in India, most of the people in rural areas, they were telling, we are not going to get vaccinated. Vaccination लेने से हमें कोई बीमारी हो सकती है. But once उनके अगल बगल जितने लोगों ने ले लिया and उनको अगर कोविड हो भी रहा है, very mild symptoms, then you could realize this is the advantage. Now let us also try. उनको किसी ने convince नहीं किया. Having seen the effect of that innovation, they themselves are convinced. So this is the condensation phase. And finally, we have the saturation level. That means almost all the people in the region has adopted the innovation and this innovation has become a success. So this is a kind of ladder diagram that I have just tried कि पहले first ladder पे चढ़ेंगे, वो थोड़ा सा हो गया, then they'll move to diffusion, then condensation, and then finally saturation phase. Now, इस कोई भी नया innovation जब आता है, all of you will agree with me, there are certain challenges that it has to overcome. बिना challenges के nothing happens. So we must be ready. Suppose some new thing comes to your mind, Dr. Rajni, if you are doing a research where suddenly within your research, you got a new idea and you shared with your peer group. Most of them are happy, but there are few. No, let us not let her do that. सारे negative consequences आपको बता देंगे. आप ये मत करना, ऐसा हो जाएगा, आप ऐसे करोगे, ऐसा हो जाएगा. That means they'll try to suppress that. It happens. But if you are ready, if you are sure of your research, सबको छोड़ दो. Because you know that it's going to create history. So similar thing, if any innovation comes in India and when it is launched by the government of India, they सबसे पहले ना they try to get the major point of attack. कि कहाँ से इसको as a challenge लोग लेंगे. There are many opposition parties also. Like politically, if BJP is coming with an innovative solution, the Congress will be opposing that. Like I'm just taking, I'm not in favor or against of any political party, anything. I'm just taking one example to make you understand the scenario. There are certain societal challenges that India needs to address today. बहुत जरूरी है इंडिया के लिए. ये शायद other countries में नहीं हो, क्योंकि India is a unique system in the world. It has a democratic system जहाँ पे we live in a world of cultures. We live in a world of, religion, caste, taboos हमारे यहाँ बहुत strong है. And उसी के साथ वी हैव टू मूव ऑन। इसीलिए बहुत सारे इनोवेशन, बहुत सारे न्यू आइडियाज ना डिफ्यूज होने में बहुत टाइम लग जाता है, बहुत समय लग जाता है। हमारे कल्चर में अलाउड नहीं है, हमारा रिलीजन इसको अलाउ नहीं करता। व्हाई? इट इज फॉर योर बेनिफिट। So there are major societal, that is why I have used the word societal challenges, because it's not the challenges that is natural. The society poses a challenges. They create this kind of challenge to give this innovation a pause. रोक देना चाहते हैं इस innovation को. Like citizens, such access to all the citizens, clean drinking water and sanitation. इसके context में भी नए innovations आ सकते हैं. Quality research and healthcare. These are the basic point of concern for the government. Improve transportation, air quality, and sustainable energy and infrastructure. So the major innovation that must come, and your research that you are doing, quality research, should focus somewhere or the other related from your field of inquiry, these basic point of concern that India is facing at present. So all these will require the implementation of approaches and solutions that are not only informed by top-notch science and technology, but are also rooted in deep understanding of the social sciences and humanities and the various socio-cultural and environmental dimensions of the nation. So, let us have a blend between arts, humanities on one hand and science on the other hand. The science is going to give you the practical approach. That means you can actually test it. लेकिन जो उसके basic logic है, उनके जो basic reasoning है, उनका जो historical background है, that the field of arts and humanities is going to give you. Now, facing and addressing these challenges will require what? इन challenges को face करने के लिए और to address them, what do we need? We need high quality interdisciplinary research across fields that must be done in India and cannot simply be imported. Please, हम अपने इंडिया में खुद से करें, इसको हम foreign country से import करके नहीं लाएं. When we have everything with us, why to import? हम तो इंडिया में अब the things that we were importing earlier, उसको भी हमने stop कर दिया because it's taking our foreign exchange reserves. क्यों देंगे हम अपने earned पैसों को? It's better we develop that environment, we develop that scenario within our own geographical boundary so that we can boast, this is ours. We can proudly say we have done this. Future में when we are telling now, when we are boasting for something we have done, in our conscious we know हमने किया तो है, but इसको import करके किया. So it's better. This is not quality research. Also, the ability to conduct one's own research also enables a country to much more easily import and adapt relevant research from abroad. Now, quality research and innovation forward for nations upliftment. Both of them together, if we are going to take, it will give any country its own identity. India ka naam hoga if something is done in context of India. Like in your introductory statement, Dr. Rajni, why you have said China? Because China has created a name for itself in patent. Okay? It has the scientists from the China, they have worked so hard कि उन्होंने उस country को एक identity दे दिया world platform पे. आज ये FDP India में हो रहा है. Within India, it's happening by KR Mangalam University, Gurgaon. और वहां पे एग्जाम्पल हम चाइना, फ्रांस और यूएसए का ले रहे हैं because they have created an identity for them. So don't you think we should also focus on such quality research कि अगर लग्जमबर्ग में कोई कॉन्फ्रेंस हो रहा है, फ्रांस में कोई कॉन्फ्रेंस हो रहा है, we are also at that position कि जहां पे वो इंडिया का नाम ले, and that would be a reward for us. उस दिन हमें लगेगा कि yes, और ये responsibility हमारे ऊपर है. We cannot tell the policy makers, we cannot tell the bureaucrats. उन लोगों को हम नहीं बोल सकते because we are doing the research, we are the researchers. तो responsibility हमारे ऊपर है. Let us do that. So research in arts and humanities along with innovations in science and social sciences are therefore extremely important for the progress and enlightened nature of a nation. Research and innovation और जो institutions होते हैं, educational institution in India, particularly those that are engaged in higher education, is critical. बहुत जरूरी है वहाँ पे research and innovation का क्या situation है. We have a special wing, research and development wing in India, जिनमें अलग से allocation होता है fund. लेकिन वो fund किस तरीके से use होता है, we are not aware because हम बहुत lower level पे, we are at the receiving end from the like mostly the funding agencies. Evidence from world's best universities throughout history shows that best teaching and learning process at the higher educational level occurs in an environment where there is also a strong culture of research and knowledge creation. और हमारे इंडिया में हमें ये एडवांटेज है, लेकिन हम ऊपर वाले पे फेल कर जाते हैं बिकॉज हमारे पास अवेलेबल रिसोर्सेज नहीं है, वो एवेन्यू नहीं है, वो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं है, बहुत सारे सोसाइटल कंस्ट्रेंट्स है. लाइक वन ऑफ माय स्टूडेंट, शी वाज टेलिंग कि मैम आई वांट टू कंटिन्यू माय एमफिल, आई एम सीइंग द plight of women, I want to work on their scenario. I said, be specific on which area do you want to work. Then she said, I want to work on the menstrual cycle of the female. And I'm very much interested that why there are few communities in India that do not allow them to move out or do not allow them to even talk to strangers to discuss their issue. I said, please go ahead. I do not have any issue. But then she said that my families are not allowing me. So this was a constraint. She was very interested in that topic. Then finally she took some different topic in which she didn't have the interest. उसको वो एवेन्यू नहीं मिलेगा, वो जब रिसर्च करने जाएगी उस विलेज में, the males will not allow her to interact with the females. From where she'll do the survey. This is one like practical example that I'm sharing with you that I'm facing at this level. There are many constraints. So conversely, much of the very best research in the world has occurred in multidisciplinary university settings. Even in DU, we have a system of innovative research. Jahan pe, there should be 3 members, 3 faculties doing research on a specific topic, but wo topic kisi specific field se nahi hona chahiye. There should be faculty members from different backgrounds. Like we geographers, we merge with environmentalists, we take chemistry. If we are dealing with some water related issues, we can work as a geographer, the spatial distribution of water over the earth's surface. But then what is the chemical property of water? We cannot work on that. That is within the jurisdiction of the chemistry department. So they'll provide us the required information. So based on a blend of different disciplines, we can carve out some really wonderful research. That is why it is inculcating the culture of multidisciplinary research. Now, what is the state of research and innovation in India? India has a long historical tradition of research and knowledge. Abhi se nahi, bahut pehle se hamare yahan research hote aa rahe hain, and we are the ones who are pioneered in this field. At present, hum bahut piche hain, but hamara ancient history hai, we can boast of that. In disciplines ranging from science and mathematics, the introduction of zero, it was we, or zero ke bina any number do not have any existence. If you are going to put zero after 1, it takes its meaning. The moment we increase it, the value increases. So we have that, we have created it that. To art and literature, to phonetics, we are there. Hindi not, you will not say Hindi, Sanskrit. Sanskrit is one of the oldest language, और उससे बहुत सारे languages unka dialects form hua hai. So in the Hindi is said to be the mother, Sanskrit is said to be the mother of all the languages. To medicine, if you take medicine also, Unani, one of the oldest. Even like during, if I'll take the ancient mythological, when Lakshman ji was gone मूर्छित, तो उनको कैसे ठीक करना है वो भी हमारे यहाँ के लोगों को पता था कि हिमालय पे कोई ऐसा जड़ी बूटी है वहां से. So medicine also we are excelling. So we are doing like wonders in everything. Abhi nahi kar pa rahe hain because abhi a situation is at a very bleak. It's high time. It's very good कि NEP में इस चीज को focus किया गया है, and it will थोड़ा सा it will invoke a kind of feeling of quality research in researchers like us. हमें ये feeling आनी चाहिए ना कि the situation is so bad, it is being focused. So this needs to be further strengthened to make India lead in research and innovation in the 21st century as a strong and enlightened knowledge economy and one of the 3 largest economies in the world. USA or Japan ko ya China ko tum kehte hain, but hamare paas abhi bhi wo lack kar raha hai. Future quality research, which is a pan-Indian vision. Kya vision hona chahiye? The NEP envisions a comprehensive approach to transforming the quality and quantity of research in India. There should be a definitive shift. Shift aisa nahi hai ki shift ho jayega. Nahi, it should be definite. There should be a definitive shift in school education. Isko hame school level se hi shuru karna hai, to a more play and discovery based style. You all will agree to this. I am mother of a 6-year-old boy who is into one of the school of Noida, and he is in standard 1. And when I see his level of like the kind of pressure that is being created, and when I compare to one of my peer who is staying in one university in Germany, wahan pe uska beta pad raha, I could see a drastic difference. The education system in India is such, it is more stressful, it is not discovery based, it is not playful. ऐसा environment हो जिससे बच्चे सीखे भी और बचपन से ही कुछ नई चीजें इनोवेट करना शुरू कर दें. So let us try to have that. तभी तो जब वो बड़े होंगे तो quality research कर पाएंगे. We have not done till our 12th standard, till our graduation, till our masters, till our MPhil, or suddenly PhD में somebody asks us, आपका research quality नहीं हुआ. Then we start thinking quality research क्या होता है? हमें पता ही नहीं किसको कहते हैं quality research. So let us start doing it from the school level itself. वहीं पे you have to develop within the mind of the student the critical thinking. And you know, जो young minds होते हैं ना, when within they are the age of 5, they are literally, you will say, very, very blasting. बहुत सारे concepts फटाफट आ जाते हैं उनके दिमाग में, they can do things. लेकिन अगर ये pressure को थोड़ा सा ease out करके playful environment बना दिया जाए ना, then they will find avenues to express themselves. So major focus should be there on career counseling. Even we have developed in our university a system of mentor-mentee, जिसमें जो outgoing students होते हैं ना, final year, not only final year, right from the first year, we develop a group of students and one teacher is assigned as a mentor to them. What we do in a small group of students, we discuss with them their problems, their future prospects, and if they are facing any hindrances, any obstacle, we try to just make them clear. उसको हटाने की हम कोशिश करते हैं, उनके mind को sharp करने की कोशिश करते हैं, and by the time they are out from the university, they have उनके दिमाग में जो confusion, जो frustration है, वो सब निकल जाता है. So we have to develop on career counseling, which is very important. Towards what? What should be the target? Towards identifying student interest. Suppose one of the students is telling me, ma'am, I'm very much interested in playing guitar. I want to make my career in music industry. But my father is telling me to do civil services. What do I do? I'm frustrated. Now, how you are going to actually deal with those students? And because of that frustration, he's not able to give his 100% in the class. He's always lost. Then you have to make them better. Music is a very good thing. You can develop it as a passion. Try to have, first of all, a secured job for your family, because it's very difficult for your father to give your fees. You don't know how much your mother and father or anybody's parents, they work towards the education system of their child. So first of all, you do that, and by side by side, you can also inculcate or develop your music passion. Take it as a passion. Once you have a firm base, and once you have a job, and after that, if you want, you have supported your family or that, after that, you make your decision by the time you would be mature enough. But right now, don't go against your parents. They always think better for you. So we have to provide counseling to them. And while providing counseling to them, we just try to identify their interest, their talent. We know a particular student is very talented in this particular field. Like, you know, when I was in my +2 in graduation, I had this aim of cracking civil services. That was there in my, not exactly in my mind, but many of my family members said, she has a very sharp mind, she can easily crack civils. But when during my graduation days, when I used to give presentations and using PPT, my teacher used to say, you have such a strong vocational skill. You should go into teaching field, because the thing that we teach you, it just gets stuck in your mind. And once it is there in your mind, now you can easily convey it to your peer groups. I was one of the students who could easily interact with my peer groups and make them understand the concept of migration, the causes of migration, push and pull factors, because it was there carved. And they used to say that you should develop this teaching field. You should go into that. I had never even given a thought, but my destiny took me here. And now I'm literally enjoying, and I'm just very happy, very, very happy with my profession. It gives me a kind of satisfaction when I see the concept, the one that I'm teaching to my student, and when they're fully understood. And the same when I get it from other universities. My taught students, when they go to SEPT University, one of my students has gone to BHU, and from there, when I get a call from their teacher, that the concept that you have taught them at undergrads level, then I am taking it ahead. They're so crystal clear. So this is a kind of reward for me. And how this is possible? Only by my mentor during my graduation days, because she has got the inherent potentiality in me, which I was unaware totally. So same thing, we as an academician, we as a researcher, we as a teacher, ये हमें भी करना है. हमारा काम सिर्फ क्लास में जाके पढ़ाना नहीं है बच्चों को. हमें ये भी असेस करना है कि हम जो पढ़ा रहे हैं, क्या वो बच्चों तक पहुंच रहा है. हमारा टारगेट वो है. और अगर नहीं पहुंच रहा है तो हमारे अंदर क्या कमी है, या तो हमारे टीचिंग मेथोडोलॉजी में कोई कमी है, या फिर अगर हम क्लास में जाके सिर्फ लेक्चर दे रहे हैं, बच्चों को बोरिंग लग रहा है, they'll lose their interest. It's not their fault. Try to make it interesting. थोड़ा एग्जाम्पल लीजिए, डे टू डे एग्जाम्पल्स लीजिए. I do that. And in my 1 hour long class, my student never get bored. कभी नहीं बोर होते हैं. In fact, I used to tell them कि बेटा जब एग्जैक्ट टाइम हो जाए ना, आप मुझे बता दिया करो, because I am so much into the study ना, I do not recognize. कभी कभी मुझे बेल भी नहीं सुनाई. So this is the thing. ये होना चाहिए. आप काउंसलिंग करिए उन बच्चों को. You just treat them as part. They will love their interest in study. और जब तक interest study में नहीं आएगा, research कैसे करेंगे? Research needs to have that clear understanding of the concept. Concept ही नहीं clear है, कैसे research करेंगे? So emphasis on holistic education, the inclusion of research and internship at the undergraduate curriculum. See, faculty career management system like Mangalam University has organized right now, faculty development programs. ऐसे चीजों को भी NEP focus करता है. That gives due weightage to research and the governance and regulatory changes that encourage an environment of research and innovation. So all these aspects are extremely critical for developing a research mindset within the country of India. Now, catalyze quality education. How it's going to catalyze? It's going to build on these various elements in a synergistic manner. The policy envisions the establishment of a national research foundation. NRF introductory line में Dr. Rani ने भी बोला था, and I'm just going to take it a bit further. So, what is a national research foundation will be established? This is according to the NEP policy, and the overarching goal of NRF will be to enable a culture of research. इनका main target होगा कि एक ऐसा environment बनाया जाए, एक ऐसा arena बनाया जाए जिसमें सिर्फ there would be focus on research. जबरदस्ती नहीं, you should have interest in that. So environment ऐसा हो, automatically innate develop that feeling for research, that I want to do research in this field. To permeate through universities, and it should permeate to different universities in India. The NRF will be governed independently, one of the government, by a rotating board of governors consisting of the very best researcher and innovators across field. अगर आप अपने फील्ड में बहुत अच्छे रिसर्चर हैं और आपने कुछ नई innovations करी है, तो God knows you will also be a part of that board of governors. Now the NRF will be governed, that we have already done. It will provide a reliable base of merit-based but equitable peer-reviewed research funding. Peer-reviewed was zaruri. It should be reviewed what you are doing, helping to develop a culture of research in the country. And this is achieved through suitable incentives for and recognition of outstanding research. अगर आपने कुछ अच्छा research किया, it must be recognized. It must be given due importance. ऐसा नहीं है बहुत अच्छा research है, you have not published. How the people will come to know about that scenario? If I have done wonders for research in my own state in Bihar related to flood, if I'm not going to publish it, how the people of Bihar will get to know? I've done a research on the basis of which I could predict for the next 20 years. If flood की intensity क्या होगी उस area में? So on the basis of that, the government of Bihar can पहले से foresee कर लेता है. It is a blueprint for them कि इस area में इतने intensity का flood इतने साल के बाद return होके आएगा. पहले से planning होती है, management होता है, embankments बनता है, so that the casualties can be reduced, the losses can be minimized. So you have to get a recognition for your work, and by undertaking major initiatives to seed and grow research at state universities and other public institutions. There are various organizations that actually help you to pursue your research career. So NRF will competitively fund research in all disciplines. It will not make a biasness कि मैं ज़्यादा science वालों को दूंगा या ज़्यादा arts वालों को दूंगा, नहीं. It will fund to all the disciplines. And successful research would be recognized once we have submitted our project that we have taken from ICSSR. एक बार हमने उस project को submit कर दिया. They said we are going to publish it and we are going to send your recommendations to the planning agencies related with that particular district. कि आपने क्या-क्या suggestion दिया है, वहाँ agricultural development हम कैसे बढ़ा सकते हैं. If you have done research on that, so it must be recognized, and where relevant, implement through close linkages with governmental agencies as well as with industrial and private philanthropic organizations. को publish करिए. These are name of some of the research funding agencies: Department of Science and Technology, which we usually abbreviate as DST. Then we have DAE, Department of Atomic Energy. We have Department of Biotechnology, DBT, Indian Council of Social Science Research, ICSSR in Delhi, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, ICAR, Indian Council of Medical Research in context of pharmacy, medical field, Indian Council of Historical Research, all the ancient history data, they provide fund for them, and University Grants Commission. All of us are well aware of that. God knows NEP में शायद कुछ और भी develop हो जाए, कुछ नए institutions आ जाए, कुछ strict guidelines पे हो जाए, because it is even being predicted कि अगर NAC की grading आपके university, आपके college की अगर A+ या A++ से कम हुई, doesn't know actually it will work or not, तो फिर आपके यूनिवर्सिटी से या फिर आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से अगर कोई PhD हो रहे हैं, MPhil हो रहे हैं, उनका रिकॉग्निशन फिर लेस. That means you must strive to work upon the quality of your institution. Or quality, the overall quality, the holistic development of your institution will guarantee you a good grading from NAC. और बच्चे भी नहीं आएंगे, वो भी देखेंगे इस यूनिवर्सिटी का NAC grading is B+. We will not go. हम वहां जाएंगे ना जहाँ A++ है, क्योंकि हमारे PhD को फिर due recognition मिलेगा. So it's the responsibility of institutions also that they must work to strive up the quality. Now, NRF, its major function and responsibility to fund competitive peer-reviewed and grant proposals across all disciplines and to grow and facilitate research at academic institutions, particularly at universities. Now, I will just skip this because I have lots to cover and I think it's 3:31. I have 9 more minutes, Professor Tanya, to complete this session. Okay, so I'll just see abhi kitna reh gaya. I'll skip some of the slides because it can go on and on. So what we aspire, पूरे discussion से हम क्या aspire करते हैं? A holistic and multidisciplinary research, एक holistic होना चाहिए plus cross discipline. Would aim to develop all capacities of human beings. Intellectual capacity होना चाहिए, aesthetic, social, physical, emotional and moral in an integrated manner. सबको एक imbibe अच्छे तरीके से आप बिल्कुल mesh up करके imbibe कर देंगे. So such an orientation will help develop well-rounded individuals that possess the critical 21st century capacities in fields across. आजकल का जो challenge है ना 21st century, it do not require कि आपका सिर्फ intellectual capacity high होना चाहिए. नहीं, you must also be smart enough to cope up with the stress. Aesthetic उतना ही होना चाहिए. You must be socially responsible. Physically fit होना चाहिए आपको. Emotional, you should be strong and moral should be high. So perfect blend जब तक नहीं आएगा, you cannot excel in the field of quality research. It leads to innovation, capacity building, and rise of entrepreneurship. I'll skip this also. Entrepreneur revolution. After quality education and innovation, now comes the third pillar, which is the entrepreneurship. And there has been a revolution in this field soon after NEP has come into existence. So we all know Indian education system is one of the most credible and the vibrant among the developing nations. Yet, there is an irony that there exist gaps as far as entrepreneurial front is concerned. Now, to keep pace and to plug the gap, to bridge the gap, हमने national education policy लेके आए, and we have replaced the 34-year-old national policy on education. Now, this revolution, it aspires what? क्या इसका main target है? To make young generation more imaginative first, innovative second, third, indigenous. Indigenous is what? Indigenous is something, जैसे suppose there are many solutions जो indigenously हमारे Indian society में है. हमारे forefathers बताते हैं अगर ऐसा होता है तो हम ये वाला technology करते हैं तो ये ऐसा हो जाता है. So we must also take that learning from our indigenous knowledge. That should be there. It should be proactive. It should be pioneering and it should be prospect oriented. And this is at the core of entrepreneurship, and that is also competence that all demography increasingly needs to have in today's milieu, regardless of their career choice. There should be an explosive pace of technological development allied with sheer creativity. And you know, this also forms a part of sustainable development goal, which is point number 4.4. It also focuses on that, something related with entrepreneurship and your industry. Now, framework for 21st century learning and era of specialization. Specialization is a must. आपको एक field में specialization होना चाहिए, but you can have a cross-discipline linkages related with that. And the new NEP is a means of fulfilling new India, new expectations, and new requirements. Imaginative and flexible curricular structures should be provided as far as NEP is concerned. And this is a kind of a portion of a pie diagram showing you the sectors and how it is going to work. I'll skip this also. Execution, very important. anything that happens must be executed. जब तक वो execution phase पे नहीं आएगा, उसका the fruits we are not going to reap it. So NEP is an ambitious and futuristic for radical transformation of job seekers into job creators. Oh, sorry, jobs creators. But much of its success depends upon its execution. The execution of NEP in true spirit will make the Indian youth accelerated, and they would be financed for creating value to other people based on knowledge acquired by them. And this will further fuel deep learning and illustrate the practical relevancy of the educational system. Now, way forward for 2020. This NEP represents a key to more vibrant, socially engaged, cooperative communities and a happier, cohesive, cultured, productive, innovative, progressive, and a prosperous nation that we are also hoping for India. Now, in my concluding remark, I have few points to just focus on in a quick snapshot. The idea of infusing entrepreneurship into education has spurred much enthusiasm in the past few years. A myriad of effects has been stated to result from this, such as economic growth, job creation, which is very important. Employment rate हमारे यहाँ बहुत कम है, and increased societal resilience. It will increase your capacity. It will increase your resilience to face any unforeseen situation related to society. But also individual growth, increased engagement, and improved equality. The policy released is the result of field experiences. ये policy ऐसे ही नहीं बनाया गया. It is based on certain assumptions. पहले a lot of field experiences have been conducted. Factual research has been done. Feedback from stakeholders and lessons learned from best practices. क्या best करने से क्या result आता है, and then they have decided हम किस चीज पे focus करेंगे. The National Education Policy promotes a participatory, holistic, and inclusive approach into education. Its progressive march is a shift to more scientific approach to education, and it aims to usher producing prolific, productive, and contributing young minds. All of us are at a phase of young minds. Our mind is always young to do something new and innovative. For building an inclusive, where everybody is included, equitable, we must treat everybody equal, and self-reliant nation. This year, we are also celebrating achievement in India at the rate of 75, because we have achieved 75 years of independence. So what are the major achievements we have done? What are the constraints? A kind of SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunity, and challenges. So for sure, it will provide a novel path to the educational system so as to make India a global knowledge partner and an economic giant. So in the last, the basic points and data that I had used for my today's presentation as part of policy document was downloaded from the Ministry of Human Resource Development, MHRD website. So I would like to give them due acknowledgement for this. And in my final summation, this is a quote that I would like to take for all of you. I would like to reiterate for all of you: the pursuit of knowledge, that is Gyan, wisdom, that is Pragya, and truth, that is Satya, was always considered in Indian thought and philosophy and ancient Indian culture as the highest human goal. So education is not a problem, education is an opportunity. So let us grab it. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. So let us be the cause, let us be the medium to change it. Education is the key to unlock the world and a passport to freedom. Let us grab that passport and let us fly in the air of freedom based on quality research, based on innovation, and based on entrepreneurship. And by learning, you will teach. By teaching, you will learn. So can I exhort all of you present in today's FDP that it is the high time. Let us start learning and let us start teaching from today onwards to produce some quality individuals so that we can boast ourselves that we are teachers and we are researchers. So with this, thank you. Thank you so much for patiently listening to me. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Really, you have presented a very nice summary of main features of NEP along with description of quality research and innovation. And best part is you started from the basics, and that too in a very interesting and easy to understand way with lots of examples from your own life. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Rajni.
Now I would like to invite IQAC Director and Dean of School of Basic and Applied Sciences, KR Mangalam University, Dr. Meena Bhandari ma'am, to give vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Rajni. Very wonderful, energetic presentation. I must congratulate you, ma'am. So good afternoon, everyone. I, on behalf of Internal Quality Assurance Cell, School of Basic and Applied Sciences, School of Education, KR Mangalam University, offer my gratitude and thanks to our esteemed guest, Dr. Shweta Rani, Department of Geography, Dyal Singh College, University of Delhi. I am thankful to ma'am for giving her consent and addressing this topic, which is very important, that is quality research, innovation and entrepreneurship research. This topic is relevant in the field of higher education, and it is currently under lots of reviews. So what is research? Actually, it is a systematic approach of studying a phenomena, and we understand this phenomena better, make improvement into it, and ultimately that innovation leads to the improvement in the phenomena, and then ultimately a new products come into picture. So ma'am has very beautifully explained the criticality of research, and she has said that it is starting from the school level and goes to the university level, and it must focus all the social and global issues like climate change, population dynamics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, the topics which we are hearing lots of it nowadays. So actually she has I must admire that research and innovation investment in India is very, very less. So why more and more emphasis on innovation? Because our population size is high and we are not producing much of innovation. So emphasis from the ministry, emphasis from the UGC, all the emphasis from the universities to exploring more and more innovative thinking, and then developing a product which is creativity, and then developing a product which can go far away at a global level. So it is very important for us to understand the stages of innovation and challenges which are associated. It is our duty as a teacher to promote these innovative ideas and creative thinking, critical thinking amongst the researcher, and then that should translate into the product. And it is actually the philosophy of NEP 2020. So it is ultimately it will lead to social growth, quality of living. So thank you so much, ma'am, for this beautiful deliberation. Very important topic, very near to our heart, better understanding of the this topic. So I am also grateful to Dr. Parvesh Lata ma'am, Certification Head, Council of Teacher Education Foundation, Delhi NCR, for extending us full support. I am highly obliged to Tanya ma'am for execution and planning of this FTP. And I am grateful to my dear colleagues, Dr. Rajni Gautam, Dr. Pooja Verma, Dr. Miss Deepika for meticulously organizing this FTP. I am thankful to our IT team, Mr. Dharamveer Bhati and Mr. Ashish for providing technical support. I am thankful to all the participants, and I am hoping that you all must be getting new ideas. At least you must be getting new ideas, and your learning is improving day by day, and you will be executing whatever you are getting out of this platform, you will be executing in your own institution. So thank you all for joining. Thanks a ton. Thank you, ma'am.
Dr. Meena,
yes, ma'am.
Through today's discussion, what I am expecting from the participants, because most of the participants here, they are the faculty members, research scholars, even like some very senior faculty also. But all of us must admit that our quality of research बहुत अच्छा नहीं होता है. So what I'm expecting from all of you forming a part of this FDP, that from now onwards will engage themselves in some really meaningful and quality research. And this should be backed by innovation and some innate ideas that should be native to us and discoveries within their own research domain, and thus will fulfill the very motive, the very base, the very target of the formulation of NEP. and it will provide a novel path to the education system in India so as to make India a global knowledge partner and an economic giant. And this would be a tribute to our motherland from we researchers. ये एक tribute होगा हमारी तरफ से जो हम कर सकते हैं अपने country के लिए.
Sure, ma'am. I hope everyone has got the idea.
Yes, hello. My voice is audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Shweta. And really, आपका जो session है इतना informative और इतना innovative है. एक thought.
It's one of the pillars of today's discussion, innovation.
Yes. और मैं एक quote इसमें जरूर present करना चाहूँगी मार्टिन लूथर किंग का. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. And intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. And research is, no research is without action, and there is no action without the research. And that needs creativity and you say that the innovation. And whatever I have understood from your session, that good quality research that should have innovativeness, that should have a scientific relevance, that should have a practical relevance, and that should have a policy relevance, and that should have a good research methodology, and that should have a clarity of presentation. That I understood from your presentation. And at last, that I was a research is that what I am doing when I don't know what I am doing. So
that is why it is research,
yes,
doing it
that
again,
is why it is research.
And getting some new insights from that.
Yes, really thankful. A very excellent session. Thank you so much.
Let me please add here because everybody has thanked her enough. Dr. Shweta ji, I hope you've been seeing the chat box. I can't trace a question. It's already gone back half an hour because it's only excellent, vibrant, energetic, enthusiastic, superb. There's a latest word that's been added for your session. So it's been amazing. That's the word that I would like to use. And just one thing which, of course, the whole thing was superb, but what really touched me, as a learner today is those constraints that you spoke of, the kind of challenges and the examples that you showed. I think there is a lot of scope to do and emphasize a lot on basic researches and fundamental researches, which challenge, which counter the problems that are in our society, and they come with solutions. Because, we are doing a lot of applied research, but somewhere our basic researches have taken a back seat. So I think that would be, another thrust area for our NEP to look at. And of course, I truly second your point that we need to increase our expenditure on research. It's so low as a nation. So amazing, and thank you. You want to say something, I think?
No, it's all the reward that you get. No, I was actually waiting for the question answer, but right now after your pointing on the chat box, I've just opened it. I've not seen it, and this is the reward that is for me for today. That is all. My entire hard work has actually paid off. Sitting the whole night reading the entire NEP policy, because before that I've never delivered a lecture related with this. My area is mostly concentrated with environment, urbanization, hydrology, statistics. So since I took this important topic, I thought that let me do some research to work on this topic, and let me have some examples, because I know I myself have a lot of examples that I can share with students, that I can share with, see, I have this habit of talking students, because I know these are not students, these are my colleagues, these are my counterparts, but yet since I am on the other part, so I can take this privilege of just coming out from my mind. So this is something good. This is my reward for today. Thank you so much for giving me this platform, for letting me speak, for putting my mind out, and what as a teacher, what as a researcher I have been facing, I have been doing, and what are my expectations, a lot of expectations from NEP, because I'm hoping that it's going to increase the level and the quality of education, the quality of research in India that we actually dream of. So thank you.
Thank you, Shweta ma'am. Thank you, Meena ma'am. Thank you, Tanya ma'am, for your encouraging words. Now the most important part, question and answer round.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, should I read the questions from the chat box?
Yeah, you can do that, please.
Okay. For this, I need to scroll down a little. Yeah, there's a question from Dr. Praveen Kumar Sharma. How higher order cognitive capacity can be generated through research, especially in theoretical embedded courses, where we find negligible space of independent thinking?
Okay, see, a good question. This cannot be developed at once. That is why the very basic thing that I'm pointing, that it should be developed from the pre-primary level itself. As far as infrastructure space is concerned, that is not something which is beyond your reach. आप उसको control नहीं कर सकते. But आपका जो cognitive thinking होता है, which is embedded, it is not embedded suddenly. It takes time. And the level of research that in India we researchers are facing, जब हमारे research को कहा जाता है, I've also faced बहुत सारे high reputed journals में I have sent. I faced a rejection. Rejection what I have faced, according to me, it was a very qualitative research, but वो international level को match नहीं कर रहा है. So we do not have that exposure to that. So let's hope कि ये जो NEP आया है, इस NEP के through जो infrastructural facilities है, या फिर जो हायर एजुकेशन सेंटर्स हैं जिनको ज्यादा स्ट्रिक्ट बनाया जा रहा है, ज्यादा उनको फंड्स दिया जा रहा है, शायद दे solve your problem, because you know at this situation me giving you an answer will not make you satisfied, because exactly we do not know कैसे ये embedded space को हम बढ़ावा दें या कैसे increase करें. Intellectual capacity suddenly it cannot increase, it will take time. That is why we have taken a target for 20 years. अभी तो 20 years में सिर्फ 2 साल ही निकला है, and those 2 years have gone just in Corona. So literally we have not experienced, literally we have not faced it. Let the time pass, you yourself will feel the difference. And then you can ask this question to yourself at that time. That scenario will give you a better solution, better answer, rather than me at this point of time. Because I really do not have an answer. Sudden, it cannot be done. It will take time. It will definitely take time.
In fact, we completed 2 years yesterday for the NEP, 29th of July.
29th of July, exactly.
Exact 2 years.
Yeah, there is a question from Dr. K. Shankara Rao. What are the strategies of quality research for future researchers? Clarify, please clarify.
Yeah, I have already devoted 2 slides on that. आपका जो your quality research, any research, you can tell that it is a quality research when it is based on the real life problem and challenges, when it is actually catering to the needs of the society. Like if you will remember, I've taken one example from my native state. When I have done a research on the flood, the recurring flood in Bihar, मैंने क्यों उसके ऊपर research किया? Because as a child, I have faced it, I've seen it. So I have taken that, I have identified that problem based on the real life solution. And then everything you are doing at every stage, you know, you are being fair to that. ऐसा नहीं है कि data collect करना है, I've not gone to the field, I've just taken it somewhere else and I've done it. नहीं. At every stage, you yourself have to be satisfied that I am doing fair judgment to my study, data collection. But at one or the other time, you might be stuck. कि इसके आगे I cannot move ahead. Suppose for the process of your data, you require certain software. For the process of your samples, you require a sound chemistry lab, your physics lab that is not provided at your university. So at that time, जो हमारा zeal होता है ना, वो थोड़ा सा down हो जाता है. तो हमारे quality में, you can say mixture आ जाता है. That quality is not 100% quality. So it's something that is not something that you can do yourself. आप सिर्फ अपने साथ true रहिए. You are basing your research on a true reality-based problem. Uska solution jo aap denge, that should be innate, that should be innovative, that should be region specific. Baki, many other things are not within your reach that can actually dilute the quality of research. So this is what we are expecting from NEP. कि जो भी लूप होल्स हैं, जो भी गैप्स हैं, वो फुलफिल हो जाए, सो दैट हमारा जो जर्नी है ना, फ्रॉम आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ प्रॉब्लम एंड फाइनल पब्लिशिंग ऑफ रिसर्च वर्क, उसके बीच में बहुत सारा ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन आता है, वो ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन का जो गैप्स है या वो ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन का लेवल है वो कम हो जाए. सो वी आर जस्ट होपिंग ऑल दीज थिंग्स.
One more
Yes,
question
doctor.
has been posted by Nazia Hassan. How quality research can be planned in education sector, especially for the students at school level?
At school level, you are asking me at school level. I'll give you an example. I have started doing research with my 5-6-year-old child. मैं तो उस छोटे से बच्चे को भी, क्योंकि उसका माइंड अभी उस लेवल पे बहुत शार्प होता है. रिसर्च डज नॉट ओनली मीन कि पेपर वर्क होना चाहिए. You are exploring something new. Many a times during his class studies, na, he come up with some ideas, some new things. So it should be, it should have that critical mind. First of all, the quest for knowledge. You must always aspire कुछ नया सीखना है मुझे. The moment you find yourself कि मुझे सब आता है, I don't want to move ahead. At that itself, at that point of time itself, जो भी research, because research process starts the moment you take birth on this planet. तभी से शुरू हो जाता है. पेपर वर्क पे जो हम रिसर्च करते हैं, दैट मूव्स एट द हायर लेवल. वी डू रिसर्च, इवन ग्रेजुएशन स्टूडेंट को हम रिसर्च करवाते हैं और बहुत अच्छे डेजर्टेशंस को लिख के आते हैं, क्योंकि इसके पहले +2 लेवल पे ये एवेन्यूज नहीं है. उसके पहले प्राइमरी और प्री प्राइमरी लेवल पे भी होना चाहिए. एंड बिफोर द चाइल्ड गोज टू स्कूल, इवन एट योर हाउस होल्ड लेवल, you can do research with them. You don't do research, you provide avenues to them so that they get the scenario कि उनको लगे कुछ नया explore करना. I never help my child in getting something new. I said you decide what is to be done and then give me the solution. So it is something जो research उस level पे ही शुरू हो रहा है. Quality research, you yourself will realize कि मेरा research is fully qualitative. Judgmental होना चाहिए. The sampling technique that you are using, उसके लिए you have to be smart enough, because there are variety of sampling techniques. Suppose you are going to a village, और उस village में there are 1000 houses. You cannot just go to each and every house and do the questionnaire. So what do? You collect a sample, 10% or 15% of the total sample size. But tell me, आप वो sampling कैसे करते हैं? You do not have to be biased. कि these are my relatives, तो मैं वहां से sample collect कर लूं. नहीं. Random also you cannot do, because random में, another example I'll take. Suppose you are teaching in a class, and in a class there are 100 students. Out of 100, you have to choose any 5 students to represent in an inter-college competition. तो आप क्या करोगे? Are you going to send all 100 of them? No, you have to choose a sample that is going to represent your class. So what do? Will you be choosing them random? No, random if you are going to choose. And suppose if there are 10 students in your class who are very, very mediocre or below average, random में 5 में से वैसे 4 बच्चे, then तो your team even would not qualify for that inter-college competition. So what do? You divide them in different stratas based on their marks, based on their performance, and then you try कि मैं उस वाले strata से student लूं, so that it represents the best student in our. So this technique should be correct enough to represent the population. If you are doing this, आपका जो research का जो outcome आएगा, that would be a quality, because your student will get a recognition. So at every stage of research, you must ensure yourself, you must satisfy yourself as a researcher that I am doing justice to my work. And then the final outcome will definitely be a quality work for you.
This question is from Alka Singh. Ma'am, please suggest some relevant online statistics course for social sciences.
Online statistics course. See, there is a good software which is SBAS. There is even R programming. And these days, now many of the institutes, they are providing you free of cost training workshops related to these softwares. So you please try to be like थोड़ा सा vigilant रहिए. और अभी तो ये COVID के कारण one of the biggest advantages that we are meeting on a virtual platform. You don't need to go any place. So what I would suggest, एक तो SPSS, the latest version is 25, that provides you, because I also belong to the field of social science. So I have an expertise over that. Second is the art programming language, और ये भी online courses में they teach you. They give you the real life data related with humanities and social science, and they teach you कैसे इससे हम research को progress कर सकते हैं. You also have some of the GIS softwares that we use for creation of maps. Because unless and until you create maps, the real picture would not come to your mind. So थोड़ा सा vigilant रहिए. Many courses are being floated by different universities, and that also There are no charges for that. It's available online. It's available.
There is one more question from Mrs. Zazo. Sorry for wrong pronunciation. According to NEP, is it mandatory that every college teacher should have PhD in future?
See, this will be applicable. What I will let you know, according to NEP, as far as I know, your undergrads will become a 4-year course. As of now, it is a 3-year course. It will become a 4-year course, and student will have a choice that they can move out after 2 years. If they move out after 2 years, they'll get a kind of certification course, 3-year diploma course, and if they complete the 4-year, that means they have a full-fledged graduation course, and your masters will become just 1-year course. MPhil would be scrapped out, koi MPhil nahi rahega, and directly from masters you will go to PhD. Latest guidelines जो UGC का था, उसके according by 2021, every teacher must have a PhD degree in order to qualify for the post of assistant professor. Let's see how NEP tackles this problem, because there is a large-scale agitation among the researchers. Most of the researchers, most of the teachers do not have PhD, still they are qualified. So let's see how it is interpreted. There might be certain changes. There might be certain modifications which we are expecting.
So now we come to an end of session 4 of this online FTP. And on behalf of organizing committee, I'm really very thankful to Dr. Shweta Rani ma'am for giving such an informative and interesting talk. We really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Tanya, for giving this opportunity. And thank you, KR Mangalam University, CTEF Delhi NCR chapter, Dr. Pravesh Lata, Dr. Rajni. It was a wonderful anchoring from your side. At many times I have taken your name. And thank you so much, Dr. Meena, for giving a wonderful summation of everything. And thank you so much, Dr. Pooja. Thank you.
Thank you. Grateful, and pleasure is all ours. Thank you, Dr. Shweta. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dear participants, we have already shared the feedback form link. Kindly fill it today, by end of today. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.